Hi you guys, welcome back to VideoTalk. I have some boxes to unbox for you. These boxes are from all around, so I go one by one and see what's in the boxes and try to explain what did I pay for these. First of all, this is the new box or something, or is it, maybe it's not a new box, maybe this is an older box. Let me see what is here in this smaller box. Now, some of these I have already opened, so I can explain a little bit better to you what's in there. So first box here we have something called the Warrior, and in the summer I already unboxed the Warrior, and this is another Warrior because I ordered two of these, and in that box there was only one Warrior, and that was for my friend. And it took me some time to figure it out and to clear this thing, but the guy from Mondo Macabro was such a nice guy, and he said, okay, I forgot to send you the other copy, so I will send you the other copy. For now, Andy has this own copy of Warrior collection, and it was a great collection. I watched all the Warrior films, and yeah, I think the first one is best of the bunch, but the second one, Warrior Against the Blind Swordsman, is the second best, and then the third one. Third one is a little bit slow moving, but the second one is very entertaining and full of what the fuck scenes. So check it out if you have the same collection, or if you have access to the collection, to the Warrior films. I highly recommend you check them out. Yeah. But enough with the Warriors, because I talked great lengths about the Warriors the last time I unboxed it in the summer, and now in this box there was only one film, and this is Letterface. For my Texas Chainsaw Massacre special video for the Finnish channel Video Space, and this is a film that I have never seen. I didn't have it. It's a Letterface from year 2019, so 2015, I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't have any high hopes about these sequels for Texas Chainsaw Massacres. If I had to say what is the best sequel to Chainsaw Massacre, it is obviously the second one. But the third one, well, not too bad. But all the 2000s films have not been that great, and this is 2050, the second latest Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so looking forward, I guess, to seeing Letterface. Yeah. Okay, let's open this box. This is from Huutonetti, and if I remember correctly, here is a VHS tape. Yes, there is a VHS tape, and let's see what I got. I was actually gonna show this in my Videopörssi live show in the Finnish channel, but I forgot. But hey, we have something called Erämaan Legenda, or should I say Lone Runner, directed by Ruggero Deodato, starring Miles O'Keefe. Some sort of like a, what's this post-apocalyptic action film? I have seen this, and yeah, it was, as far as I remember, it was a little bit boring film, but like I said, it's directed by Ruggero Deodato, and I don't think this has released even on DVD, so this is kind of like a rare of these Ruggero Deodato's late 80s Italian action films. Wish I could remember, was this like a post-apocalyptic film, but clearly this is not set in the Wild West or something like that. It is set for the more futuristic times, but it appears to be some sort of Western type of deal or something like that. Savina Kershak is the lady lead in this, and this is from year 1987. Tell me in the comments if you have seen it. I paid, was it €8 of this VHS, so it was not a bad price. This was also €8, this thing, and obviously I didn't pay anything for the Warrior because it was 35 bucks, and I had already paid it. And yeah, one more thing about the Warrior, I had to do some explaining for the customs because they didn't believe that, oh yeah, I have bought something and I have already paid for the custom fees, but yeah, they simply forgot to edit in the box. But yeah, I got it. I got it figured out eventually, yes. Okay, moving on to here, and oh my freaking god, oh shit. Very hardcore stuff. Now, I opened this already, but I did not see this. Red to Kill, a Cat 3 film, category 3 film from Hong Kong. And yeah, this is supposed to be very hardcore. And this is from the very small label Error 444. It says here, Error 444 first introduced fans to Billy Tongue, demented horror of exploitation and horror with Run and Kill. I'm so pissed off because I did not order Run and Kill and now it's out of print. So unfortunately I got this Error 444 release of Run and Kill, but Bilton's Run and Kill, I slept on it because I had the DVD and I was thinking that I probably don't need no Blu-ray, but goddamn was I wrong. Holy shit. But Red to Kill is still something that I have not watched and very much looking forward in watching, because they say that this is one of the most notorious of these category 3 film. It says, now we bring you to the Blu-ray debut of Red to Kill from 1994, a rough piece of Hong Kong extreme cinema that is considered by many to be one of, if not the most disturbing category 3 rated film of all time. Oh, serial rapists terrorize the building where the shelter is located. Woman in red. Some sort of serial rapist who rapes women who wear red. And this is how it looks like from the inside. Every time they announce another category 3 film, I will be the first one to order, especially after the fiasco of Run and Kill. Here we see Red to Kill booklet, and that should be something that is interesting to read. Yeah, some stickers from the film as well. Yeah. Tell me in the comments if you have watched the Red to Kill, and are you usually into these kind of very hardcore films of Hong Kong cinema? I'm interested in hearing your thoughts about that. And then, okay, let's see. This came in today, and oh my god! Oh yes! This was from cdon.com, and this is not distributed, or this was not sold by CDON, but something called Ginza SE. And I'm talking about 38 euros worth of film. Brian De Palma's, holy shit, Body Double Steelbook edition, and this is a Scandinavian or Nordic release and includes Finnish subtitles and Finnish age limits, all that jazz. And this is a quite new release from Sony Pictures Entertainment. I have not read any reviews about the picture quality of Body Double, but hopefully it'll be great. And I have seen Body Double from Brian De Palma, and holy shit, this is an insane film. First, when I was watching it for the first time, I was thinking like, man, this is like a Brian De Palma's remake of Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. And as the movie went along, I was thinking about, oh my god, this is one of the worst Brian De Palma's film. But then it hit me. Finally, when there's this music video scene with Frankie Goes to Hollywood in the porno lair, then it hit me, man, this is a masterpiece. So looking forward in seeing Body Double on 4K Ultra HD. Well, I'm not gonna show this. Probably includes Blu-ray and 4K discs only inside. So I'm not gonna open it. This also came in today, and yeah, this came from Severin Films, and it will only include one replacement disc for Opera. I bought Opera from the Severin Films, and this is the replacement disc for the UHD disc. And I watched the previous UHD disc and I didn't see anything wrong with the color restoration, but they said that there was some error with the Dolby Vision color restoration, that in some players the colors seem very off. But yeah, I had the Dolby Vision, I watched the Dolby Vision version, I didn't see too much difference in I didn't see anything weird. Yeah, that was free, that didn't cost me a thing, because yeah, it was a replacement disc and I didn't even have to fight the customs against with that one. Okay, so moving on. Hey, first up we have Frankenstein's Daughter, and I already watched these. These came from WowHD and the price of this thing was 17 euros and 65 cents, but if you decrease 50% off, you get like €1.50 off, because there was usually in WowHD every month there's a sale, and I took benefit of the sale and of course I ordered this. So 50% off from this 17.65. And Frankenstein's Daughter, 1958 science fiction film directed by this guy who made in the same year made 4 films, and starring John Ashley, not to be confused for that same John Ashley who is in Beverly Hills Cop. But this was directed by Richard E. Cunha. And this was a crazy story about this modern day Dr. Frankenstein who injects some serum to this girl who is only wearing always like only bikini, and she becomes a Frankenstein, and then yeah, you get your 50s, all that crazy goofy stuff, and yeah, it was okay. And this was released by Film Detective. This is a fun, I think it's a fun label, the Film Detective. They have put out very many of these types of film. I have other films from Film Detective here in my box as well, and this was okay entry from them, and it was nice interview from them, from this David Sheckler, who seems to know very much detail about these 50s and 60s film. Here we have the booklet even. This was released in 2001. And now I got it. My goal is to collect all these Film Detectives, because I love me some 50s horror films. And also from Film Detective, Monster from Green Hell. In this film there was this couple of, I don't know, some sort of rocket scientists who detect that their rocket has fallen into Africa, and they suspect that maybe the radiation can affect somehow the population of Africa. So off to Africa they go, and of course the African wasps have turned by the radiation. They have turned into giant ones, and then we get to see lots of archival footage, and the ending with the volcano erupting is just bizarre. A bizarre mixture of all kind of like archival footage. I like it. I absolutely like it. This has been considered very bad film, and yeah, they are right about that. I think I have seen this previously, but it was maybe some cable channel they screened it, but it was such a long time ago, so I didn't remember too much about it. But I'm glad I now watched it for the first time. For the second time. But this was the first time for me. Ega. Richard Keel stars the modern day caveman who lives in some sort of Palm Springs desert. And then he hijacks his professor and his daughter and tries to keep them in their cave, in his cave, which is like filled with mummies. And sure enough, they escape with the help of this Archie Hall, this beefcake who you might remember from Wild Guitar. They escape, and sure enough, Richard Keel, Ega Caveman, follows them to the city, and then there is where the action starts. Great stuff, funny little film, and the ending also was like mind-blowing in that sense. And then also from the Film Detective comes this film, Giant from the Unknown, and this was directed by the same guy who directed the Dracula's daughter. And yeah, in this film, some professor, always a fucking professor, they go to investigate some Aztec items. And okay, so this 500-year Aztec corpse returns to life and starts to kill people in this small town. Not necessarily that entertainment as Frankensteins Daughter, but yeah, if you're a fan of 50s science fiction film, I think you will like this one too. Now this is a DVD. I accidentally bought a DVD. I don't know why. I wasn't paying attention. But WowHD didn't sell the Blu-ray version. But if I have noticed that I would be buying a DVD version, I don't think I have bought it. This was 15 euros and 23 cents, and this was 23 euros. Okay, that was expensive. And this was Monster from Green Hell was 17.55 euros. But take 15% off and you get the actual price. And then one more in this box and we can get rid of that box. Happiness from Criterion Collection. Now I have not even opened this. I will save this for the special occasion, but I have certainly seen this many times. I think this Todd Solondz film is one of the best, if not the best, black comedies ever made, starring Philip Seymour Hoffman, Lara Flynn Boyle, Ben Gazzara. It's an amazing film. I strongly suggest that you watch it. If you have never watched Happiness, you should see it, but it's not for the faint-hearted. This has so much going on in it. It may be too much for some of the viewers, and I don't kid around about this. This includes like a pedophilia and whatnot, and Philip Seymour Hoffman, this very perverted guy, and it's great. It's great. It's over 2 hours, but yet I always enjoy when I watch Happiness. This is very, very, very balls to the balls crazy, and it was never awarded with R rating. It was released NC-17 film, so 140 minutes of pure bliss. And this, I don't think this was even released on Blu-ray ever, so it's very great news that we now have a 4K Ultra HD of Todd Solondz's Happiness. Looking forward in watching it very, very, very soon. I have to say that I paid for this 34 euros and 89 cents. So, and 15% off from that. And then Door-to-Door Maniac, another box, also with the 50% off. Door-to-Door Maniac, and also includes the Right Hand of the Devil film. I watched this already and I was kind of like disappointed. Johnny Cash plays here this kind of psycho who invades this house and starts to terrorize this one lady. I think actually the Right Hand of the Devil was a better film of it, but interesting films nevertheless. And from Film Masters, and another fine label that I really like their stuff. And Door-to-Door Maniacs was 20 euros and 40 cents, and take 15% off and you get the right price. And then Squirm, yes, a classic worm-eating film. Man-eating worms, they are coming out from the earth when the rainstorm destroys the power cables, and the power cables inject electricity to the earth. So of course the worms come out and eat people, and the final scene has this house full of worms. I think it is very, if not very slow moving, but the final scene, I think it's worth the shot if you're watching it. The film has cult following. It was directed by Jeff Lieberman, and it has certainly this kind of like a strange 70s atmosphere in it. And I suggest that you check it out if you have the chance. Okay, then I think this is very underrated 80s slasher. Terry O'Ginn plays this guy who is the stepfather that's very obsessed about great family life and whatnot, and then he goes from family to another, like a family who doesn't have father, so he injects in himself in those families, and then when he gets disappointed, he kills the family and goes to the next. So I think this is very underrated slasher, a psychological thriller. And I think that Terry O'Ginn is very chilly in this, and all others too. It's a great release. It was nice to see this again. I really like this film. On 4K, it wasn't the best presentation I have ever seen on 4K, but certainly a giant leap from the DVD that I previously had. 10. Zoltan the Hound of Dracula from Kino Lorber comes the Kino Cult series, and this is number 16 of Kino Cult series. I paid for Stepfather, I paid €27.53, and from this one €24.51. Take 15% off. Yo. Okay. What a stupid film. So in Romania or something, they found Dracula's grave, and there's a dog who comes back to life and servant of Dracula. And then they go to United States to look for the descendant of Dracula. I don't know why, but they do. And also this vampire hunter goes after them, and then the final confrontation happens in some remote camping area, and it's kind of silly, kind of stupid, kind of entertaining little horror film from the 70s. Reggie Nilder plays in it, so he must be one of the ugliest actors ever who has been in the horror films. Yeah. Okay, another classic, Kino Cult classic, Kino Cult number 14. I paid €60.76. Okay, Kino Cult starring William Shatner as this doctor of this small village, and suddenly there's an invasion of regular spiders, but there's a shit ton of them. Yeah, an animal horror, very much like the Squirm also. And I think this is very good. I have seen this many times on VHS and on DVD, and this is something that manages to entertain me all the time, every time I watch it. And the ending scene is classic, where this great matte painting. Everybody who has seen the film know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I suggest you check out Kingdom of the Spider. William Shatner, like I said, is in it, and he's not hamming it up. I think all actors in this film are pretty good. And the spider effects are really good, and the action in general, very enjoyable. I like it. I like this. I genuinely like this film. Oh my god. Okay, Doomsday, a Neil Marshall film, futuristic action science fiction thriller, and this one I paid $28.04. I mean euros. Okay, Doomsday, set in the Scotland of the future. There's this plague which has turned Scotland into a wasteland, but when the virus spreads to London, they sent a special commando team to Scotland to find out the cure for the plague. And Rona Mitra is playing this action girl in it, and she's very much like Snake Plissken in Escape from New York. And this is a love letter to aliens and Escape from New York and Mad Max and whatnot. I think this is a very entertaining hodgepodge of different ideas. Very good action, very good music in it, and Rona Mitra very hot, and it's pretty violent too. So I had seen this previously when it was new, and I remember it wasn't that great. But I don't know why would I think of that, because I think after now watching it again, I think it has some very much this like a 2000s cheesy quality to it. So I don't know why I had not liked this the first time, but it was great watching it on the 4K, and the 4K is the theatrical cut. There's 3 discs, and there's also the director's cut, which is like 4 minutes longer. But never mind that, it's only talking scenes. There's no violence or gore, anything more in the unrated cut. So basically you can skip the unrated cut and just watch the 4K cut, theatrical cut. It's shorter, it's better. The less talking these types of films have, the better in my opinion. I recommend watching Doomsday, revisiting that again. And final in this box is Antichrist, an Italian thriller, and this one I paid 24 euros and 51 cents, and this is another Kino Lorber film, Kino Lorber Kino Cult number 15, and yeah, this was like an Italian Exorcist ripoff. I think this had a lot of very much production value. This film looks much more expensive than usually your normal Italian horror film would look like. And yeah, it was okay. A little bit, maybe a little bit too long. It was almost 2 hours, but the exorcism scenes and the special effects were nice and goofy enough to keep you entertained through this film. Also, Mel Ferrer and Arthur Kennedy was playing parts in this film. So yeah, this is my haul for this time. Hopefully you have enjoyed this, and tell me in the comments what did you like of it, and do you have any of these that I got, and did I pay a good price, or did I pay way too much? I thank you for watching this episode too, and I will see you in the next video, and in the meantime check this out. The next, you might enjoy it even more. Thanks and bye.